What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Lore Reloaded. As always, a pleasure to see all of you guys here. Going to take a quick second to do a sound test because I'm not sure how that fan sounds in the background. Not that bad. All right, so yeah, don't know if a lot of you guys are going to come in today, but we're going to do a little bit of a video, short little video, and we're gonna jump right into it, as the kiddies might say. This will be talking about Star Trek Discovery, so if that is something that you are concerned for when it comes to... if that's something you guys are concerned about when it comes to spoilers, then this is not going to be the show for you. But if you don't care about spoilers or you want to give your opinion, then this definitively is the show for you. And I'll just go ahead and say it. I think that the most recent Star Trek Discovery, remember that that episode, that series that has been canceled since Season 3, because, you know, it never was going to go past Season 3. I think it was a fine episode for Discovery, and I will say that this one was a Trek episode. I think there's quite a bit of slapstick. I think there's quite a bit of discoveryness, which is to say that it is not the original series. It is not Next Generation. It is Star Trek Discovery from the point of view of, well, Star Trek Discovery. So you just have to take those things with it. You take the good with the bad. Quick question, how does this whole moderator thing work? Well, you just be a moderator and you hang out, and if you see something that is generally out of line, then you are welcome to use your moderator powers. If you go too far, I'll let you know. If you abuse it, I'll just remove it. It's more a thing that I use for people who come in quite a bit and for people I want to marry. So, that's about the limit of it, honestly. Glamorous Titanic 21 has arrived, as well as the illustrious April V. David Hughes, of course. You know, I'll say this. I think that if one of the things I said, and one of the things that I hoped that they did, was to take a look at the Federation, or Star Trek, from the standpoint of rebuilding the Federation. I thought that that would be quite the interesting story. And I would say that they're not focusing on it, but it is a part of the world, a part of the, I guess, lore building, world building. I don't know that I want to call it that. So I think it's definitely there. And it's at least nice to see. Unfortunately, again, I do not think they are going to focus on it. I think they're going to probably more move towards, and again, there are going to be spoilers. Got Pedro from Brazil, so if you don't like spoilers, definitely leave now. I do think they're going to more focus on the plot when it comes to the world, the distortion that's happening. It honestly, it feels like Shields of Tomorrow. If you guys have watched that Star Trek Adventures RPG, that's what it feels like. If I describe Lore Reloaded, honestly, you time me out at David Hughes. I'm so confused. I think it has a Shield of Tomorrow feel for the moment. I don't know if they're going to keep going with that or have an impact to it. It does have a focus on Burnham. Of course, Star Trek Discovery is supposed to have a focus on Burnham. That's its whole point. Her being held to a standard is kind of interesting. I really do. I'm not going to watch it because it's just going to piss me off. But I'd be curious if those who are heavily critical with Star Trek Discovery will at least admit that they're calling Burnham out when she does stupid stuff. Because they really are calling her out. When Julian Bashir was taken by Section 31 and put into a holodeck, he was secretly put into the Matrix. Proof's there and can't really say it wasn't what happened. That's true. I guess you can't say that wasn't what happened. Hello, Lore Reloaded, from far, far away of Poland. The Polish people, if you will. Well, Burnham is the only character on the show. Untrue. Untrue. Funny, but some might say hyperbolic. There are quite a few characters on the show. I'm wondering what they're intending to do with the president. I can't tell. Is she... I guess she is half Cardassian. Is she half Cardassian, half human? I don't know. I mean, we already know where they're going with it, though, right? This spatial distortion of spatialness is going to be destroying the whole, like, universe. And that's one of the things that I hate, but at least... What's going on, Fedric? I hate, but at least they're consistent. They, By the way, if you guys haven't seen my video, for some reason, it is not going out to people. And maybe some of you guys aren't interested in it. You should definitely take a look at it. I'll share it in a second. They are definitely going with this whole end of the world, universe needs to be saved motif or shtick that they do. And that's just what Discovery is. And unfortunately, they even say we're creating series to have different things so that you can have a different experience every time you do it. And so, to that point, Discovery is the universe-ending, high energy, always having to save people deal. And so, which is unfortunate because I really would like them to slow down for a little bit and kind of show me what's going on with the rebuilding of the Federation. What did I think about the Archer thing and the Enterprise theme? I thought it was tasteful. I think they did a lot of member berries, is what I think. I think it was a horrific amount of, hey, do you remember this? Do you remember that? Because it wasn't just Archer Station. It wasn't just using the theme from Enterprise. There was a lot of, I almost thought I was watching Lower Decks with the amount. And what about a Tribble being a crew? There wasn't a Tribble that was a crew. Where was there? Because I missed that one. I don't think Tribbles can't be crew. Because I'll call that stupid immediately. Do you have a timestamp for that? I mean, it was fine if you like the theme. I have never been a fan of the Enterprise theme song. Actually, that was Archer's theme being played. Sure. Yeah. It was. There was a Tribble crewman. Please hold. Tribble crew member, Star Trek Discovery. For I believe you not. Can you give me a timestamp or maybe where it was seen? Because I'm not even seeing a picture of it. I would think people would talk about that the entire time. It was scooting around. I mean, where was it? What scene? What was happening in the scene? There was a little Tribble running around. She almost tripped over it. Okay. There's a good remake of Enterprise theme on YT. It's actually Trek-like. Okay. I'll have to take a look. Unpopular opinion, Star Trek Enterprise is the best series. Well, that is an unpopular opinion. Used to be, before Discovery era Trek came along, that people were like, well, Enterprise isn't the real Trek. Enterprise isn't real Trek. Nobody likes Enterprise. All of a sudden, Discovery comes out. When Burnham was walking with Booker. Okay. Okay. If you say so. Was it at the beginning when they were in the ship and they were talking about his little boy or whatever? Because usually I don't see... I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to find because Booker usually isn't walking with Burnham. He's usually riding with her. Oh. I think that if Discovery is always going to be about some threat to the universe, at least now the threat seems to be a natural disaster. Well, the burn seemed to be a natural disaster, too. And then they were stupid. They said it wasn't scientifically possible for the burn to happen again. Don't know how that works. Let me see. I did... So, removing the fact that they are butterfly people, I did like I liked what they were trying to do with the butterfly people. I also liked what was happening on Kaminar. It really was. Again, it's slapstick, and it is Discovery. I don't know any other way to describe that. But it does have a tinge of what Trek is and what Trek is supposed to be, you know? Which I can appreciate. Okay, I'm sitting here watching them walk. When is he going to... Oh, there it is. Are we sure that's a Tribble? That's just bad CGI. How did I miss that? It's just bad CGI. It looks... That reminded me of like Star Wars. I mean, you want to do top-tier Star Wars reference. That's what that is. I live in the United Kingdom. I've heard that Netflix will not have anything Star Trek, which is an effing bummer. I think eventually they will come out with it, either that or Paramount. I think it's a licensing issue. I know, this is my unpopular opinion. I don't think it's Netflix. I actually don't even think that it is Paramount or Viacom CBS. I think it's United Kingdom licensing laws and the fact that they, the fact that when it comes to communication, when it comes to laws with what one can do with one's body, there's very little difference between 1940s Germany and 2021 UK. That's what I think. But I could be wrong. Bad CGI. It looks like a piece of shag carpet on an RC car. Maybe that's what they actually used. Maybe it's not CGI at all. You're right. Nailed it. I think that this episode was a Trek episode. I think it was a Discovery Trek episode, which if you like Discovery, you're going to enjoy it. If you don't like Discovery, it's going to be a weaker episode, is what I think. I think what they were trying to do in the first scene with the butterfly people was something very Trek related. I think Kaminar was very Trek related. Man, I literally just watched it, and now I'm going to have to go back. Beyond that, I think the Kobayashi Maru? Wow. The Kobayashi Maru scene didn't add a lot to the plot. It was more for a way to bring an issue between the president and Burnham. I do like that she got called out. That it doesn't make any sense for the captain to go down and fix the issue, even though we've seen that in TNG and DS9 all the time. I like the fact that she got called out and said, hey, you're the captain. Usually you're not supposed to go down and do that. So, I don't know. Discovery is turning into disaster movies of the 1970s. It's one thing after another. That's what I was talking about before. Well, no, General Zod, they're doing that on purpose. Discovery is literally meant to be the high-paced action, fixing universe issues every episode. That's what it's literally meant to be. The Butterfly People was very JJ Trek. I don't know. I don't think it was JJ Trek. I think it was. I think it was Discovery era Trek. And I think that I think the principle behind it was very Star Trek. Why is this thing not updating? I just noticed that. Why is this not working? Why'd you guys break it? Oh. What did you guys do? Why did you break it? Oh, I didn't do the update. Sorry, OG-san Howard. But Laura, I got nothing nice to say about Star Trek Discovery, so take 5. Well, thank you. Thank you, OG-san Howard. Oh, Locutus. Hey, hold on. Give me 1 second. You guys stay right here. Don't worry, Burnham will be proven right and the president wrong. I don't think so. They're not doing that, Thomas. That's the thing. Season 3 and now into Discovery, Burnham's wrong, and when she is wrong, it has consequences. And people call her out on it. That's just not consistent with what we've been seeing. So I think it is quite possible that she'll be proven. It was JJ Trek, and it was almost an exact copy of the opening of Star. Was it? I guess. Yeah, I could see that. I'd have to go back and do it. No, she made something for you guys because you bought her ice cream, so she's going to get it. Discovery's trying to be DS9 and TNG at the same time. When it can't, they should have went with the original series Exploration with a new faction to go to war with. I don't know that they're trying to be DS9 and TNG. There's really no war at this point, or at least season 4. If you're trying to say historically, maybe we can have that discussion. And I would say that they're not good at it if they're trying to emulate it. Can't we all just be happy that we have any Trek at all to watch? Now, I have said this before. If you liked Star Trek Discovery or you like Disco Era Trek, that's great. That's fine. I'm happy for you. But it is okay to say this isn't good. It's okay to say if this is not good, we shouldn't have it at all. I think those are okay things to say, personally. You want to show it real quick?
Yeah, it took me a little while to make this. So.
Nope. Oh. We'll move it back right there because there's the camera and then the light has to shine on. And so this is for everybody, Locutus and everybody else who sent monies for ice cream. And it's
we all share an insider, right? And they have other insiders, and I have other insiders. And listen, insiders are insiders.
Ochi-san Howard super chatted $5. This broke it. STLD best new Trek.
All right, say it.
So you're holding ice cream, and you're in this little dairy background, since that's what the wallpaper for milk cartons at my old school were. So I decided to add that, and I like the color scheme, and it has a brown splotch on her face, since Kaz can have brown spots.
Cool.
And nothing, and I thought you'd like it a lot.
You love it. All right. Well, there it is. All right. Go do stuff so you can do the art class. They said they love it. It looks awesome.
I'll do it to another random person.
This episode was as good, in some ways better than the entirety of Season 3. I wouldn't say the entirety of Season 3. I'd say it's definitely better than Season 4, for sure. Or not Season 4, Season 2, for sure. And everything beats Season 1. I mean, you could... literally everything beats Season 1. There is literally nothing out there. No art, no thing put on film that is worse than Discovery Season 1. That's just fact. Science fact. New Federation present is a tribble. That's true. I don't know why they had that tribble there. I don't know that it's a crewman. It really just reminds me of a Star Wars reference.
Last one.
What is that?
It's the thing I drew for Raven. It's her self-portrait that I drew.
Cool. All right, go do homework, sweetie. Me and Tribbles, well, there was one on Lorca's desk. There was, but there wasn't running around. You could argue that one was dead. I love that Tribbles now exist and they aren't vermin anymore. I'm assuming that that's due to, I guess, surgery or something. Let's face it, at least in my opinion, TNG is overrated. I'll be honest, TNG is one of the slower, more boring treks out there. I grew up with TNG. I fell in love with DS9, which I think is better than TNG. But I think TNG... The thing with TNG is that it really hit at a special time. And I think it was more right place, right time than necessarily the best thing ever, if that makes any sense. Now, I personally am the original series is not my favorite. It's one of on the weaker sides for me. But I think that you could argue that the original series, they really bit and claw and fought for what it got. And that's not to say that TNG, there wasn't people working hard behind it or it didn't earn what it got. But I think it had an easier time because of when it came out. I don't like what they did with Lorca either. My point is, Tribble as homage, I think it's like playing on nostalgia. Yeah, they did nostalgia a lot in Discovery Season 1. Hey, Salty Trek, if you're still here, what did you think of it? You said the rest was crap. I mean, let's expand for a second. What, do you like the premise that's being set up? What do you think about, all the member berries, all that good stuff? Can't wait for that episode of Strange New Worlds where Ensign Noonien Singh extols the virtues of the brand new Chrysler Cordoba with rich Corinthian leather and Klingon disruptors. I feel like I should know that reference. I really do. Hello, how's the new cartoon? I think it might work. Oh, I'm upset with you. The Space Jesus is warning. Then I'm a Christian.
We all share an insider, right? And they have other insiders, and I have other insiders. And, listen, insiders are insiders.
Cedric Taylor 08 super chatted $10. Hello, how's the new cartoon? I think it might work. Oh, I'm upset. Pouting face. With you the Space Jesus is warning. Finim a Christian. Latin cross. Can you not, you that praise so much THXU?
Okay, Cedric, I don't know if you're messing with me or not. Quite a few people actually got upset about the Space Jesus thing. It is really beyond me why people get upset about that. First off, I don't think it's offensive. But let's assume that it is. Let's assume that saying Space Jesus is offensive. God and Jesus, Jesus is so powerful and he is the creator of the universe. He's not going to get upset about, me calling someone else Space Jesus. I really don't think so. Especially since I'm more accurate in saying who the representative of Space Jesus is, given that he's not this white guy he's always portrayed to be, just so everybody's aware. Discovery's going to be canceled someday. It's true. Discovery is going to be... we are watching a canceled show. That's just fact. I don't understand. Space Jesus sounds pretty neat. It does sound pretty neat. I have called Cisco, as a joke, Space Jesus, all the time. This is a big meh so far we made, but this just burned 2.0, another big universe-ending mystery, no compelling villain. Well, we don't know exactly. I mean, we'll talk about this. By the way, guys, if you want to hear more on the topic with someone that I'm going to be disagreeing with, you should go to Salty Trekker's channel and subscribe. And it went on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We discuss all kinds of things. And it sounds like Trekker and I will be disagreeing somewhat on this. Though I think we'll disagree that it's all right for Discovery, meh for everything else. It sounds like there are some pieces that we will have disagreements on. Go to youtube.com/anti-Trekker, because that is his actual YouTube channel. How you get there, I forget what it's called. But you can also just put Salty Trekker into the search criteria and find him that way. When your identity is tied up completely in your religion, the slightest comment can cause offense. I think someone who is puts everything they have into their religion and it does become a part of their identity. I don't necessarily have an issue with that. In fact, I think that's depending on how we're defining that, I think that is can be a good thing. But if it's to the point where someone saying a name upsets you, especially something like that, it's crazy. By the way, guys, if you haven't checked out the most recent video, it's not there. That would not be the most recent video. It's vanity. Your vanity thing is there too. But for some reason, my most recent video, it didn't get out to enough people. I don't know if it was shared or people didn't like it, or I don't know. But go watch it in its entirety there. Lore, I would like to make a counterpoint on religion destroying Cisco. Rather, I move that it actually saved not only him, but his sanity. Well, I disagree, but if you can write it in text enough to where I can read it right here, or you want to send it to james@lorereloaded.com, I'll take a look at it. I think I'm doing a series on this actually. But honestly, I think that Cisco, when you look at everything that happened to him,
we all share an insider, right? And they have other insiders, and I have other insiders. And listen, insiders are insiders.
Cedric Taylor 08 super chatted $5. As long as you're not being mean and good, I'm still your Huckleberry.
Well, you'll always be my Huckleberry. As long as you're not being mean, I'm good. I'm still your Huckleberry. I don't know what being mean is. What do you mean by being mean? Like, the fact that I put Space Jesus is mean to some people. What the hell was I saying? I think that Cisco shows a negative for, I think, I don't make fun of your... I do not make fun of your beliefs when it comes... I mean, if you're talking about religious. I mean, your other beliefs are pretty stupid. But I don't make fun of your religious beliefs by any stretch of the imagination. I think that religion destroyed Cisco. But that's because of Cisco, not necessarily the religion. And one of the reasons why I have Kira there is because I think Kira is an example of how a religion somewhat saved her and made her a better person. Like, I think in Trek, Kira is one of the ultimate religious people. In fact, I would dare say that she would be in my opinion, would be an ideal Christian. But I wasn't going to go there specifically in the video. Being religious does not make one sensitive. I don't think I ever said it made you sensitive. May have inferred it. Being a sensitive douche does. And let's not forget when my mother was saying some of the things you were going to do. I didn't say I was going to do anything to her corpse. I don't know why you're saying that. What I did say is that because your mother may have been sensitive to it, that you and I should kiss right as she's dying. I did say that. But I say a lot of stuff and do a lot of humor when confronted with pain. So if it makes you feel better, I did a lot of jokes when both my mom and my father died as well. So at least you can feel good about that.
We all share an insider, right? And they have other insiders, and I have other insiders. And, listen, insiders are insiders.
Ochi-san Howard super chatted $5. Jesus could probably literally change his skin color at will, so I never cared about artist interpretation. Oh, and Space Holy Spirit or Space Ghost. LOL.
So there's like 7 of them. I don't know why it keeps playing that one. I mean, Jesus could, in theory, do whatever. Well, I don't know. That's an interesting concept because he was both human and God at the same time. So while on Earth, could he have changed? I don't know, because he would lose the ability to be human. That's an interesting conversation. I do have more than one video. I have like 7 video clips. I have a video clip with you saying something silly. So I don't know why it keeps playing that. I probably set it up wrong, is what it is. But what were we talking about? Yeah, I do humor a lot. That's how I deal with stuff. Oh, man. The incarnate Christ could not change form at will. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was human and God at the same time. So I don't think that he would have been able to. But God, by the very definition, isn't limited. So he could both do it and not do it at the same time? Maybe? Or could God limit...
We all share
Stop
an insider,
that same
right?
One. I don't know why
and they have other insiders, and I have other insiders. And, listen, insiders are insiders.
Cedric Taylor 08 super chatted $5. I'm sorry I open a can whoop as my fault plaza, forgive me.
Oh, yeah, I do, no, I love making money off Nerdrotic. Laura, I'm sorry, I open up a can of whoop ass. Yeah, you guys are just eviscerating me, so I personally feel bad about it. Wish you hadn't. For your information, Gary Nerdrotic did his review of the episode. He, of course, laughed at it for an hour. It would just make me mad, so I'm not going to rewatch it because I value my mental health more than anything else. But I wonder if he would admit that they at least are doing some things that were criticisms. I do feel like Burnham gets yelled at more. That she's held to more account. We've even seen that in season 3. So I don't know. No, he just could not during the incarnation. Not enough room on chat to really explain here, but Christ did not have superpowers. I never thought he had superpowers. But let me ask you this, Salty, because this is an interesting question. Man, I miss those days when we had the atheists and Christian debates. Man, those were the good old days. I don't want to go back. I don't want to do it now, but I do miss those days. Once he became human, did he have the capabilities to turn himself back into a god? Or did he have to die or go through what the plan was? If he could turn himself back to God, then technically he always had the powers. He just chose to be limited by them. Which then means he could have done anything he wanted. He just chose not to. Sisko wouldn't have changed at the start if Sisko left Starfleet. By the time the Maquis, he may have actually joined them or gotten his commission back just to deal with them, but it's a loaded... I'm not sure what... I feel like I should know specifically 100%. I mean, I know we're on that topic, but I'm not 100% what that's responding to, Darth. Cisco became a literal true believer. And because of that, he was willing to forsake everything. Literally everything. And that can be a good thing, or it can be a very bad thing, depending on how you look at that choice. Because of it, he made the right choices to ensure the survival of the galaxy, I guess you could say. Or at least Bajor. I wouldn't say the galaxy, Bajor. But who's to say that he wouldn't have been able to had he not done it? So, I don't know. Permission to silence the filthy heretic? No, we don't do that. We don't do even vague threats on YouTube. It's one thing we don't do. By the way, apparently science is a philosophy. Oh my God. I hate people. I hate people with all of my being. I don't understand. And everybody... So the comments on the Cura video, people are talking about how science is a philosophy. And before a person gives their opinion on whether science is a philosophy, they feel the need to like give their credentials. Like it started out with a dude saying, "I'm an atheist and I think science is a philosophy." I don't care if you're an atheist, you're a Christian, or you believe that doors are literally are gods that allow us to enter into different dimensions. I don't care what you think. You're still going to be wrong or right based on what is or is not. Then others dudes come up, "Well, I'm a physicist and I think that..." I don't care what you are or what you do. I don't think Sisko had a choice. The way the wormhole aliens talk to him, he's like a puppet. He could have chose to rebel, but did not. You might argue that he was manipulated, which is possible, but I mean, I don't know. I think he did have a choice to turn his back on them and chose. And the one time he did, he got punished for it, and then he chose not to after that. The comparison with Jesus is actually very good. Both were Messiah figures, martyrs, and there are other parallels. Yeah, I think there is a lot of Christian inspiration in Sisko. I would disagree with how Sisko gets there and what happens to him, but I think they were trying to allude to... Honestly, I think that when you analyze Sisko's story, his arc, it's a more evil version of the Bible to a degree, a more evil version of the Bible. I really do. Excuse me. From Immaculate Conception to the Crucifixion, Christ was simply a human being, but his spirit was that of God. I don't know that I agree with that. Because to be human is to, by definition, be sinful. So to be sinless to be sinless is literally like the attribute of God, I would say. One of the attributes. I don't know. Also, there's a moment when Jesus was carrying the cross that Mary tries to comfort him and acts like she wasn't anyone special. That is similar to when Sisko abandons everything to the cross. I would say that... No, because Sisko turns his back on a lot of people and causes them a lot of like pain. I don't know that it's done in the same way. I don't know. We'd have to have more conversation. Prophets were corporeal, but they could have been technically advanced and finally figured out how to ascend to godlike state. That's what, I'll say this, and I'd be interested in how Salty thinks on this too, but I think that one of the reasons why you have more atheists than not in Starfleet and the Federation is because of entities like the Q or the Organians or, Apollo. I think that the reason why is that people have come upon so many entities that were effectively gods that they have basically given up on the concept. Well, seeing Discovery 4 is now on Paramount, I will miss it. Not subscribing to another service for one show. I think that's fair, John. At least in my opinion, the wormhole aliens are evil in the way they manipulate people. For all we never hear the Paul Wraith side of the story, I would say that the prophets are evil. Yeah, I would completely agree with that. Any entity that would infest a human being, force them to copulate with someone against their will, and to continue to do it until pregnancy, to have said child, and then only after that release them, I would consider that evil. Yes, I think that that's evil. Yeah.
Are you live?
I am. What's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say for the art thing, since it's
3:45. It's at 4. Don't worry. I'll be there in a couple minutes.
Because last time it was this time. Okay. Thanks.
It's at 4. I believe the prophets were Bajorans after they evolved into non-corporeal life. Yep. That makes it sound wrong. You're right. The way I positioned it was definitely in a negative light. I'll agree. I'm not wrong, though, Pedro. That's the thing. I'm not wrong. I'm waiting to see if it catches up. Star Trek Discovery aired today.
We all share an insider, right? And they have other insiders, and I have other insiders. And, listen, insiders are insiders.
Broken Eyes super chatted $4.99. Quark is a deeply religious person who helped the Bajorian and countless other. Ferengi capitalism is the most peaceful religion in Trek.
True! I disagree. Would you become an atheist because you found out Apollo was real, but there were lots more like him? I would say that it'd be reasonable for most people to think that there was no revelation or no God, because either other entities directly did it, or that there are things out there that exist as to be gods. So I think that would be a reasonable explanation for why they wouldn't believe that a god exists, because it's simply a being who isn't actually a god but can seem like a god from our point, so it's likely there are no gods. Good to catch another stream of yours, Laura. Been binging a lot of your Picard break. Well, I'm glad you're liking them. Polytheism, by the way, is not atheism. When did I ever say polytheism was atheism? We used to, for years, do religious stuff. Salty, you know that I know what the definition of atheism is. Here's a crazy idea. The prophets could be Bajoran Cardassian hybrid. I don't know. A lot of people think the Bajorans and the Cardassians are linked. Star Trek Discovery Season 4 was very good and got my attention. Well, I'm glad you liked it, Wargamer. I really am. Oh, stay here for a second, guys. I got to get Lorelei set up, or child number 1. I will be right back, and we can discuss a little bit more. Believe they took Star Trek Discovery off Netflix. Time to cancel Netflix. A lot of people have been doing that. I don't necessarily... Well, I mean, if that's the only reason you watch it, so it makes sense. Be right back. I'm back. I canceled after the Cuties show. Okay. What do prophets need with a baby? I get the reference. I've been watching Deep Space Nine. Never actually watched it in a binge and followed the storyline. Just had a dislike to it. If you don't like Discovery, I think that's more than fair. There's really a lot of things about Discovery not to like, right? I think season 3 and season 4 are getting better. I do. I don't know. I guess we will have to see. Ah, that's what means better. Okay. Sorry. Amazon was being weird. I started watching early season 3. Back then I was like, what? A space station? How boring. You know, season 1, season 2 of DS9 was pretty poor. I think I'd be the first to admit that. It needed a lot of work. Needed some love. But I think all of the first seasons really, beyond Lower Decks, I think all of the first seasons really, really were rough. And so I don't think you can judge it by that. I think Star Trek Discovery was by far the worst, but it just followed the same. I think Star Trek Picard was pretty weak. Before Discovery, I truly believe this. Before Discovery, TNG had the worst first couple of seasons. That's what I'm hoping happens to me with Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard, which is why I'll try watching in 10 years. So you're taking the lore runner method to watching Star Trek, is what that is. Can't believe they took Star Trek Discovery off Netflix. Yep, Star Trek Discovery Season 4 premiere was very good. Well, if Apollo is real in Trek, then are we the rest of the Greek pantheon real? I think they had the entire... Now, Salty Trek would know more than me. But didn't they have the entirety of the pantheon there? What must be going? I'm running a kitchen serving 7 kinds of food for kids. Oh, that's really cool, man. Hey, send me information on that. I'll try to help out sometime. I bet, is it done through The Experience? TNG Season 1 had some serious cringe. The racist African episode. Yeah, where Picard was like, my people love my people. Oh, that was so bad. Honestly, it was the most racist, offensive part. Well, now I don't know. Like say it was one of the top 10 until Discovery Season 1. An entire season was basically that offensive. Bow, bow, bow. There are some good episodes in TNG. I know Trekyard sits back and says that season 1 was a lot better than what people remember. I mean, they're wrong, and it's okay for them being wrong. I'm okay with them being wrong. Apparently, Bird of Prey 5 just did something, or had done something. There are some good episodes in TNG Season 1. Come on. Disagree. Actually, I think I'll be getting off because I need to make sure that April's not here. I can't get off. I think there's... need to help my little one a little bit. TNG Season 1 is great if you're raised. It's true. There's a lot of people... I mean, that's why Fandom Menace likes it, right? Hey, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to... rate, comment, and subscribe. Not a lot is going on. Question of Trek. Really fun podcast. You all should check them out. And I'm going to see you guys on the next.